right, Peter Van Dusen, live continuing coverage of the NDP convention from Edmonton, Alberta here on CPAC. Shot of a great big empty hall here at the Shaw Conference Centre, which will be full, guarantee you that, full of people in about 2 hours from now when the official opening ceremonies here begin to kick off the event. One of the things the New Democrats have to do this weekend is elect a new president of the party. Rebecca Blakey's term is done. We've heard from her in our broadcast over the last number of days, and one of the candidates to replace her is Marit Stiles, a Toronto School Board trustee, a longtime union activist, and has been on CPAC before as an NDP commentator. Good to see you again.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Why do you want to be the president of this party?
Well, I think this is a very important moment for our party. You know, I've actually been a community riding activist for most of my life, and the last election, the results were definitely not what we were hoping for. I mean, I'm originally a Newfoundlander, and I'm a riding activist in Toronto. Wasn't what we were looking for. But I think this is actually a really important moment for our party, and I really want to be part of the change. I was part of the working group that conducted the election review. I think there's some important work that needs to be done. It has to happen. I think that we owe it to Canadians. We owe it to our members, and I want to be the part of that process of leading that change.
Is Tom Mulcair the right leader to be part of that process of leading change?
You know, as the candidate for presidency, one of the roles of the president is going to be to implement whatever decisions are made here at the convention. So I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment on the leadership race. I do look forward to working with Mr. Mulcair and his office, and I think he's been a fantastic leader. But I think that it's really up to the members on the floor of convention to conduct that review.
Right. I mean, but you must be kicking that around your head. I mean, the leader and the leader and the president of the party work, you know, pretty closely together, and I guess whatever happens on the floor on Sunday is going to give you an indication, if you're the president.
Sure.
It's going to give you an indication of the kind of support the leader has in terms of trying to move the party forward. How do you deal with that?
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of what we need to do obviously depends on having a leader, a strong leader. That would be useful going through this kind of process, but I think a lot of the change and the things that we need to do actually have to happen at the grassroots. So our riding activists, we need to enable them to get out there and organize in their communities. We need to support our caucus in new ways, and we need to, frankly, you know, look at how we're going to conduct the next election starting today. And some of that is going to involve some important policy conversations, like this discussion of the Leap Manifesto that's coming up, which I think is really exciting. So I think actually the work that has to be done is going to proceed no matter what. We have a lot of work to do here, and a lot of it's going to involve our members and supporters at the grassroots.
Notwithstanding the guidance you get from members, and that's the role of the party president, what's your sense of where you think the party does need to go, given the last election results? There's a lot of people talking about, you know, the British Labour Party leader, and gee, we should be more like that. Jeremy Corbyn, we should be more like Bernie Sanders in the United States, and those kinds of things. I mean, what are your thoughts on what a successful New Democratic Party continues to build looks like over the next couple of years?
I think that New Democrats can look to what is happening around the world and be inspired. I think it gives us some confidence that a lot of the positions we have and our vision of the world and our social democratic vision of the world is really in keeping with where a lot of people are at around the world and where Canadians are at. And I think in the last election, you know, Canadians were looking obviously for an alternative to Stephen Harper, a progressive alternative. I think we have an opportunity now to hold Mr. Trudeau accountable, to meet those demands, what he promised to progressives across this country. And I think we have an opportunity to have a bolder vision of where we want to take this country, you know, one that's based on both ecological, social, and economic justice.
There's some people say, and I don't know how much you know about this already, because you're and again, it's predicated on you becoming the president, but there's suggestions that, look, some people might make a decision based on the fact, on Tom Mulcair's leadership, that, look, we fought an election campaign. Party doesn't have the financial resources it had even a year ago, so you can't afford an election campaign. So leave the guy who's there now. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we're a very resourceful party. We do a lot with very little. We always have. Our grassroots is strong. And I don't think that, I mean, I don't know where things are going to land, to be honest, this weekend. I would say, you asked me one day, I think it's going to go one way, another, the other. And you know, ultimately, I believe it's going to be Mr. Mulcair's decision, as it should really be. But our party, we have this democratic process at these conventions, these very important debates. And I think that that is going to be the beginning of what takes place next. And a lot of what we need to do, I think it really is about enabling our people to do the work in our communities. And I'm not sure that's going to cost us the big bucks. But we still got to raise money.
Right.
I am definitely interested in raising money for our party.
You kind of need to go that way, don't you?
You have to be able to run a campaign
Marit Stiles,
like the rest. Yep.
Thanks for being with me. Good luck this weekend, and all the best.
Thank you.
Good to talk
Thanks
to you.
very much.